it's time to review Capitalism, a Love Story by Michael Moore. We saw it last night, and let me tell you something. That was a hell of a movie. Michael Moore is at the top of his game. No one makes a documentary like Michael Moore. It's funny, it's engaging, it's got suspense. You know, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So he knows exactly what he's doing, right? So give him credit for that. Now, it was sensationalistic. There was a little bit of demagoguery in there, and I disagree with half of it. So, now, which part do I agree with? Which part do I disagree with? He went after the financial system as well as you can, and he went after him real damn hard. Bless his heart. Okay, and he went after Reagan. He went after the tax cuts, etc. And I love that part. And if anything, hit the financial industry even harder because they did screw it up and they did take our money, and it is bullshit. Okay. Now the part I disagree with is when he says capitalism is evil. That is not just his implication. He literally talks to priests and they call it evil, right? And so I think that that's misdirected. I've argued, look, capitalism is human nature, whether we like it or we don't, and there's parts of human nature we don't like, right? But people try to get as much as they can, right? For doing as little as they can. That's normal. The thing is, what we need to have is somebody looking out for us.
Exactly, yeah.
We need to have the government, and he made that point in the movie, and to look out for our interests and to have fair rules so we can play. I mean, I don't know what the alternative is. He talks about socialism in the movie, and if by socialism you mean somewhere between complete free markets run amok, which is nearly anarchy, right, and communism, where nobody owns a damn thing, then yeah, okay, then I'm in favor of socialism if it's something in the middle. If by socialism you mean communism, then I'm not in favor. But I don't think he means communism.
Yeah, neither do I.
Because he of course did not go anywhere near that direction in the movie. But I think calling capitalism evil is a little, to be honest, a little silly. Okay. Now, having said that, he punched them in the mouth, and I love it. We needed populism on the left. We need someone to the left of me, right? Definitely, and he's way to the left of me. It made me realize after the movie, yes, it's as I suspected. I'm totally a moderate. I don't go that far at all, right? And in some places he went too far. He talked about he had a guy imply violence. There was a guy who was cleaning his guns earlier, saying, "I hope somebody shoots somebody."
Right.
And that's bad, man. And in fact, to the point where I thought, you know what, Glenn Beck's audience might really enjoy this movie. I don't mean that as a diss on Michael Moore. I actually mean that in somewhat of a positive way. Now, the allusions to violence, I think, are unacceptable, and I don't think he should have done that in the movie, okay? But the positive side of it is the right wing also don't like the bankers.
Exactly.
Right? They also don't like the politicians. I've talked about this before, and we can meet on the middle there, in the populist middle, where we both sides know we're getting hosed by the guys in power. Their anger has just been misdirected in the wrong way, and I think that they might watch Michael Moore's movie and go, yeah, I kind of agree with that. So what did you think?
I liked it as well, and I do believe it was sensationalized. I completely agree with you when it comes to capitalism. I don't think capitalism and the idea of capitalism is evil in and of itself. However, it does need regulation. We do need people looking out for us, and without that, capitalism can easily become an evil thing. So, yeah, I didn't agree with his take that capitalism is evil. The fact that the government isn't regulating it is what's evil. And then what I took away from the movie that I really, really liked, and I love that he touched on it, is he talked about political activism a lot. And he talked about how powerful we really are, even though we don't have all the money, even though we're not big corporations. We have the power of the vote, and a lot of people aren't exercising that. They're not standing up to the government and saying, you know what, if you're not going to do this, if you're not going to represent our people, to the politicians, if you're not going to represent our people, we're not going to vote for you. If you're going to represent the corporations, then screw you. You're not going to be reelected into office. And that's what will really scare politicians. People don't realize that. And I like the fact that Michael Moore really brought a lot of attention to that in his film.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And if he hadn't gone all the way over to like basically advocating revolution, right? I'd say hell yeah, because you got to grab your pitchforks. If you don't, in a proverbial sense, right? If you don't put pressure on these guys, they're going to keep doing business as usual. And I love that he challenged conventional wisdom on so many things. That Jesus is a Republican is absurd, and he tackles that in the movie. And I'm like, finally, thank you. Somebody, put it into a forum where people will start to discuss it. That Ronald Reagan was not looking out for your best interest. He was looking out for the guys who are actually in charge, and he lowered the taxes for the rich, right? In fact, I thought he could have done even more on that. So when he challenges those conventional wisdoms and challenges the audience to get involved, I think that's great. As we both said now, I think he took it too far, but I like that there's someone to the left of us taking it too far, where we say, hey, Michael, you're a little out of control of that. Bring it back a little bit.
Look, that type of propaganda, and he uses propaganda. Let's
he
be
does,
realistic.
he does, and he's good at it.
That type of propaganda, I think, really helps balance out the type of shit that Glenn Beck puts out there.
Yep.
And we need that balance. We don't have someone on the left that's putting this stuff out and getting people to think.
And think about it this way. That's so right. Look, because if we're the guys that they consider on the left, here, the Young Turks, this idea, or the Rachel Maddows, or whoever it might be, right? Then the media will take it and go, all right, well, if the reasonable position is all the way to the left, and the crazy position is all the way to the right, well, we got to go somewhere in the middle. No. Michael Moore is on the left, okay? Fox News is on the right. We're in the middle.
Right.
Okay, where we believe in the system of capitalism, but we understand that sanity requires you to have some rules in the game so that it doesn't break down and that people don't make money off of people dying.
Yeah.
I mean, something as easy and fundamental as that. And one more thing, we got to raise the taxes in this country. Look, he makes a point that nobody touches on, which is that when America was great, if you ask conservatives, when was America great? They say, oh, the 50s and the 60s. And stretching into the 70s until Carter came along, right?
Right.
You know what the highest marginal tax rate was for that time? Anywhere between 70 to 91%. Okay.
Which blew my mind. I knew nothing about that.
That's how we created the middle class in this country. Now, I think that that's too high, okay? Now, it worked, right? And we, as he pointed out in the movie, we built bridges and highways, et cetera, with that money, and we built the infrastructure that made America great. I still feel the 70% highest marginal tax rate is too high. But you know what? Where we have it, when Bush left office at 35% for the highest bracket, and then for capital gains, 15%, estate tax for a while, 0%. That's insane, man. No. We need taxes to run the government so that we can have rules and streets and cops and you know what? And healthcare. So I think that although I don't agree with a lot of it, I still think it's a great movie.